Good evening and welcome to the Field House at Washington University in St. Louis. You're looking at Edwards Fay Court as the Wash U Sports Network presents a Wide-Down Showdown doubleheader in basketball tonight between Wash U and Fontbonne University. The women will start first as the Fontbonne women will take on Wash U. Fontbonne's 3-4 on the season. Wash U's at 4-3. Fontbonne has won 2 of its last 3 games, but lost its last outing at home to Central in a close game, 75-70. Wash U has also won 2 of its last 3 games among the women, but lost its last game at Westminster. So can Wash U continue its winning streak over Fontbonne, which now stands at 17 games? That's one question that will be answered tonight. The men will have the nightcap as Fontbonne takes on Wash U. The Fontbonne men are 4-3. The Wash U men are 5-3. Fontbonne's won 2 in a row among the men and almost at a third in a row, losing on the late 3 in overtime versus Webster. And Wash U has won 4 of its last 5 games after a 1-2 start, including a win over Principia on Thursday. So can Wash U's men continue their winning streak over Fontbonne, which rests at 16 games? Judging by the records of the 4 teams involved in our doubleheader tonight, we may be in for a wild wide-down showdown tonight. So stay with us here on the Wash U Sports Network, and we'll find out who indeed wins these games as we have a men's and women's doubleheader of college basketball tonight. The women will start first, featuring Wash U and Fontbonne. Hello, I'm Jay Murray, and thanks for joining me on the Wash U Sports Network. At this time last year, I was ready to deliver Wash U broadcast number 499 and 500 in my career. Tonight I'm at 585, and Fontbonne must believe that it has a great chance to end their losing streak to Wash U tonight. Fontbonne's women will try to give Wash U its second consecutive loss to a SLIAC team tonight, and Fontbonne's men's lost to Webster by a narrower margin than Wash U did. Wash U lost to Webster 72-64, and Fontbonne lost to Webster in overtime. And so Fontbonne's men and women feel that this may be the first time in a few years that they really have an outstanding chance to contest with Wash U tonight and pick up victories here over the Bears. So we'll see if that happens tonight. But either way, I'm glad you're able to join me for the Wide-Down Showdown doubleheader tonight on the Wash U Sports Network. Ellie Persky will be joining me along with Ellie Lieberman. And Kevin Steiner is with us as well. And he's our Assistant Sports Information Director. Chris Mitchell's also here, our Assistant Athletic Director for Communications at Wash U. So we'll all be here for you. And we hope you enjoy our broadcast tonight on the Wash U Sports Network. Our broadcasts here on the network are powered by the W Club, the Wash U Department of Athletics, and Stretch Internet, and they're driven by Claire Halpern and Professor Michael Greenfield. Now, tonight's broadcast, again, made possible by Professor Michael Greenfield and Claire Halpern. They're the husband and wife team that have been very supportive of our Wash U Sports Network initiative. In fact, without their support, we wouldn't be able to broadcast as many games or perhaps no games at all. That's how important their contributions are to our broadcast, to our initiative. And so with that, we thank them as they're able to provide broadcasts to parents, alumni, and fans of Wash U who follow the Bears in action all season long. So again, on behalf of the Wash U Department of Athletics, we thank you, Claire and Michael, for your support of the Wash U Sports Network. And by the way, if you're wondering, Professor Greenfield's in the Wash U School of Law. He's been there for over 40 years. And he and his wife, Claire, are very avid supporters of Wash U sports in general and the Wash U Sports Network in particular. So we thank them for their assistance and their contributions to our broadcasting initiative. Well, we need to do a couple of things before we get started into our Bears Den pregame show. One of those is we want to help you with your Christmas shopping. And to do that, we have the solution for you if you're having some problems figuring out what to do with your favorite Wash U fan. Well, all you have to do really is go to shopwashubears.com. On the internet, very easy. You don't have to fight crowds or anything like that. Just go to your computer, go to shopwashubears.com, or use your smartphone for that matter. And once you go there, and you're able to provide and purchase all the red, white, and green gear that you can wear and that you can also give to your favorite Wash U fan. So, for example, if your favorite Wash U fan needs a new hat or a new Wash U sweatshirt or a T-shirt, game day novelties, anything that you can think of regarding your favorite Wash U fan and what he or she might need, we have it at shopwashubears.com. So check it out tonight while you're watching the broadcast, by the way. So you can use your smartphone while you're watching us and take care of that, and you'll be able to get your Christmas shopping done, perhaps, or have a big step forward in accomplishing that. So we want to help you out in that regard. Also, if you're not familiar, we do have our broadcast available through free HD video content from the Wash U Sports Network through custom applications on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV. All you have to do is search for Wash U on the app interfaces of any of the compatible devices and then download the free app. Once you do that, you can use the intuitive interface to access Wash U Sports Network broadcast directly through your TV. So there's no need to relay the stream, or there's no need to patch cords from one device to another anymore to watch the Bears in action. You can just beam it through your large screen TV, whatever TV you want to choose to watch the Bears in action. We've had people report to us that they've used this the system and the situation to create big watch parties, and so this is perfect for that. So again, use Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV to enjoy Wash U sports from the convenience and comfort of your favorite TV. Well, as we go into our Bears Den pregame show, again, you're overlooking Edwards Fay Court. Wash U's warming up to your left, Fontbonne to your right. This is the Wideout Showdown. It's titled that because Wideout Showdown bisects the Wash U and Fontbonne campuses. Wash U's on one side of Wideout and Fontbonne's on the other side. Thus, the Wideout Showdown. That's why we've dubbed it thus. And as far as the women are concerned, we're going to focus on them first because they play first. And in their Wideout Showdown history, Wash U leads that rivalry over Fontbonne 38-4. Last year, Wash U won 72-47 as Madeline Homily had 20 points and 11 rebounds. Natalie Orr had 14 points. Steph Botkin and Katie Klausner had 10 points apiece. In that game, Wash U shot 52% from the floor and Fontbonne only 27%. Caitlin Walker led the way for Fontbonne with 10 points, and Paige Black had 4 steals. 2 years ago, Wash U doubled Fontbonne 94-47. Zoe Vernon had 14 points in that game. Steph Botkin and Rachel Sondag had 13 points apiece. Madeline Homily, another big game. She had 11 points. She was then a reserve off the bench, and she was quite a sixth man off the bench, so to speak, or sixth person, I should say. And Fontbonne had Taylor Ventimiglia had 10 points to lead the Griffins in scoring. Wash U had a 30-6 advantage in the second quarter after a slight 18-13 lead after the first quarter. So as you'll find out, both in the men's and women's Wideout Showdown rivalries, yes, Wash U's had big advantages in those rivalries, but there have been instances where Fontbonne has been perched to try to pounce on Wash U with strong quarters here and there to try to give Wash U fits, or strong halves for that matter. 3 years ago, Wash U won 80-52 as Lily Saros had 10 points in that one. Amanda Martinez had 12. So Wash U's won the last 17 meetings over Fontbonne. The last loss by Wash U to Fontbonne was in the 2000-2001 season. It was very notable because it was a 79-68 loss to Fontbonne that snapped Wash U's record-breaking 81-game winning streak. The Griffins were a worthy team to break that streak. They were 21-7 that season and reached the NCAA Sweet 16 for the only time in school history that Fontbonne has gotten that far in the NCAA tournament in women's basketball. And the loss by Wash U did not deter the Bears from returning to the NCAA Final Four that season. It finished an incredible 4-year run as national champions with a 79-33 win over Southern Maine in the Division III title game. So it was, again, a very pivotal game. It was a very notable game because it was a game in which Wash U's record-breaking 81-game winning streak was snapped and featured, it was just a great game all around. Fontbonne used that as a springboard to get to the Sweet 16 round. Wash U able to recover from that loss to go to the Final Four and win its 4th straight national championship. In that game against Fontbonne, Tasha Rogers had 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals. Meg Sullivan had 14 points off the bench. And Wash U only had 40% field goal shooting overall in that game. They were outscored by Fontbonne 47-37 in the second half of that contest as well. So the other 3 losses by Wash U to Fontbonne came in the 82-83 season. A 1-point loss by Wash U to start the season. It was later avenged that season. Also, the 1980-81 season, Wash U lost 68-58 to end its second season of women's basketball. Now our national anthem before our starting lineups. The Bear Nation Varsity Band joining us for the national anthem. We thank them for their rendition of it, and they'll be entertaining during timeouts as well here this evening. So Fontbonne takes on Wash U. Fontbonne's 3-4 this season. Wash U 4-3. Starting lineups to be announced right now. And we'll have a little thumbnail sketch of each as they are announced. First of all, for Fontbonne, first starter Jillian Venegas, a 5'10 junior from Racine, Wisconsin. And also Grace Fortsman gets her first career start tonight for Wash U. Fortman is a 6'1 sophomore from Dardenne Prairie, Missouri. Went to Incarnate Word Academy in her high school career. Raven Venegas will start from Racine, Wisconsin, a 5'10 junior, sister of Jillian. And meanwhile, Madeline Homley will start tonight. She is a 6'2 senior from Kansas City, Missouri, preseason All-American. 15 points away from 1,000 tonight. Also, Paige Black will start for Fontbonne. She is from here in St. Louis, a 5'6 senior guard. She went to Afton High School locally. Also starting tonight for the first time, Haley Semple from Park Ridge, Illinois, a 6-foot freshman. She plays guard or forward, making her first career start for Wash U. Also starting, Riley Stafford from Jackson, Missouri, in Southeast Missouri, a 5'6 sophomore. Also starting for Wash U tonight, Becca Clark-Kellender, a 5'7 senior guard from Springfield, Virginia. And for Fontbonne starting tonight, Riley Guffey, a 5'3 sophomore point guard from Newburgh, Missouri. And for Wash U also starting tonight, Rachel Sondag, a 5'8 senior from Webster Groves. Those are your starters for Wash U. The coaches for tonight's matchup. For Fontbonne, Maureen Cias will be the head coach of the Griffins. She's in her 5th year at Fontbonne. 47-61 is her record, and she's guided her team to a 3-4 mark currently. Randy Henderson is the head coach for Wash U in her 2nd year. She's 23-11 here at Wash U. In her 12th year overall, Randy is 194-112 in her coaching career. So as far as the keys tonight, we're going to take a look at some of the things you'll need to keep in mind on our coach's clipboard segment. For Fontbonne, they want to shoot a high volume of threes and make double the amount that Wash U makes. In Wash U's 3 losses, opponents have made 28 threes, Wash U only 13. Also for Fontbonne, limit the damage of the Wash U bigs inside. Don't nullify your threes, as Fontbonne averages 8.9 trays per game. They want to make sure they try to clamp down on Madeline Homily and also inside Christina Schmelter to enable their three-point shooting to carry the day without getting any interference from Wash U's bigs inside. Fontbonne needs to get some steals and force turnovers from Wash U. Fontbonne gets a combined, 24.3 turnovers from their opponents this season as Fontbonne gets the opening tap. Wearing their purple uniforms, their road uniforms, even though they're just crossing the street to play Wash U tonight in the Whiteout Showdown. Black tried to handle the ball with her left, bumped out front by Haley Semple. Semple's from Park Ridge, Illinois. And she's making her first start of her career tonight. She's played in 4 previous games, but as a reserve, averaging 3 points a contest. Jillian Venegas to Sister Raven. Set shot 3 from left wing is up and good, and that's buried by Riley Guffey. So that's what we're talking about. Fontbonne's going to try and launch a lot of threes and make a lot of them and force Wash U into an exchange of 2 points for 3, as that one by Homily's missed inside under the basket. Guffey wanted a 3, but was stopped by Clark-Kellender on left wing. Guffey gets a return feed, sliced down the light off the glass, lifted off the rim, no good. Fortman with the rebound. Clark-Kellender, long outlet left wing for Sondag, gets a partial screen from Homily and lays it up and in. Rachel Sondag, that could get her three-point shooting energized. She's had a rough go from three-point range this season, averaging 26%. But a layup there could give her a lot of confidence, and we'll see how that affects her three-point shooting. That is vital to Wash U's success, to have her shooting close to 40%. So Fontbonne has a 3-2 lead. Raven Venegas trying to back down on Homily. Goes left, now right, now corner 3 up and on the way. It's long. Rebound and a bounce for Homily as that shot taken by Riley Stafford. Now Fortman gets a long outlet pass. The 3 is long. Rebound in the lane for Homily. Bounced it off her foot, though, and it's retrieved inside by Stafford. Fontbonne, tough break for Madeline. Wanted to go strong to the hoop, but bounced it off her foot. Let's try to take a dribble inside to finish that sequence. Fontbonne leads 3-2 early on in the first quarter. 8:14 to go. Jay Murray here with you on the Wash U Sports Network. Raven Venegas to the right block, able to get a shot around Homily and knock it down. So Raven gets her first 2 points. Raven leads the team, averaging 11.4 points a game as Fortman's 3 is on the way. It cans in the cylinder. It rattles around and falls through. And so for Fortman, that's her first 3 points of the evening from three-point range. Fortman making her first career start and making a good start of it, as WashU now has tied the game at 5-all. Guffey drives baseline around Clark Kellender, and Clark Kellender forced to reach over and from behind Guffey, and that is a foul against Clark Kellender. And with that, free throw opportunities for Guffey. So Grace Fortman again had played in every game so far this season. This is her first start tonight as Guffey's free throws off the mark. Guffey averages 7.4 points a game. Third in 3-point shots currently. She makes the second free throw, giving her 4 for the quarter. And Fontbonne uses that free throw to inch ahead by a score of 6-5. 7:32 remaining in the first quarter. A whiteout showdown featuring WashU and Fontbonne. Homily double teamed Sondag. Fortman, now it's Semple. Semple back out, top of the arc, 3 on the way is up and good. The splashing it home is Isabel Horan, who just checked in moments ago. Isabel's from Longmont, Colorado, and she makes a long 3 from the top of the arc to make it 8-6. WashU ahead now by 2. Venegas 2 dribbles with the left hand. Black now out to Jillian Venegas. The top of the arc 3 is up and good. Jillian Venegas showing she has long range. And Jillian now, she's averaging 8.3 points a game. That's her 8th tray of the season. And Fontbonne regains a 1-point lead at 9-8. We'll give you some of the WashU keys here in just a few moments. As driving in is Homily to the right block, and she is fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line. For WashU, 3 keys for them. The Bears have to shoot better percentages from 3-point range. WashU, the top 4 people that shoot 3-point attempts, they're 31 of 107 for 29%. The team last year averaged 41% in comparison. Homiley's first free throw. Ooh, it wanted to stay down, but popped out at the last moment. She'll get 1 more. Also for WashU, until the 3-point shooting improves, second free throw is good for Homily. Homily now 14 points away from 1,000. Second key, until the 3-point shooting improves for WashU, they have to dominate inside the arc. They're shooting 49.7% inside the arc, and they have a plus 6.3 rebound margin as Black will take a right wing 3. That's well off the mark. Well, Stafford crashes the boards. Nobody boxed her out. That's an error there as far as WashU's rebounders are concerned. Stafford was able to get free inside and get an easy putback. So Fontbonne has regained the lead 11-9 now over WashU. Meanwhile, Homily starting to go to work inside. Madeline with the basket. She now has 3 points, and now she's 12 points away from 1,000. As we're going to count it down here. Until she gets there, she'd be the 14th player in WashU's women's basketball history to reach 1,000 points in her career. Spinning turnaround jumper in the lane is good for Raven Venegas. Raven's off to a good start in the quarter. She has 4 points, and Fontbonne has regained the lead again, 13-11 in a seesaw first quarter. Semple puts the ball on the deck. Bounce pass out front for Fortman. Can't trigger a 3. Sondag to Ren. And now it's Fortman with a left wing 3. It finds the bottom of the well. Grace Fortman with 2 trays in her first career start for WashU. And she has made the most of this career start, the first one here in the first quarter, as WashU has gained a 14-13 lead now over Fontbonne. Venegas working on Homily, leaning in. The shot is missed. Rebound Ren for WashU. Isabel sprints out with it across the timeline. Sondag can't step into a 3 just yet. Semple now. Cross-court feed for Ren. Fortman, long 3 is off the way, no good. Sondag hit the deck and no foul either way, so play continues with Raven Venegas getting an easy rebound off the bounce. WashU leads by a point, 14-13. 5 minutes to play midway through the first quarter of the whiteout showdown. Jillian Venegas can't do much there. Meanwhile, Stafford trying to get away from Sondag as WashU's playing man-to-man defensively. Venegas, left elbow jumper, rattles in. It almost popped out, but decided to stay down. And Venegas now has 6 points in the quarter. So Raven has given Fontbonne a 1-point lead back at 15-14. Both teams shooting well here to start. Semple curls down the lane on the dribble, kick out for Ren, and a long 3 for her. It's off the rim twice, no good. Semple fights for the rebound and scores inside from 8 feet away. Haley Semple went strong back to the basket after getting the offensive rebound. And WashU has reclaimed the lead now 16-15 over Fontbonne. Griffins with the basketball. Left wing is Stafford. Out front for Jillian Venegas. Back to Stafford. Can't launch a 3 as Sondag's with her. Now Jillian Venegas, a partial screen to work with a shot is long off the back iron. Homily with the rebound. Here comes Wren in transition. Wren, right lane drive, almost moved the pivot foot. And now, meanwhile, Fortman tried to launch a three and blocking it, but also drawing a foul. It's going to be Jillian Venegas. So Jillian and Raven, twin sisters from Racine, Wisconsin. Jillian is called for the foul there. And Grace Fortman goes to the free throw line. Grace's first free throw. Ooh, rolls around, falls away, no good. Fortman, that's her first miss of the season. She was 1 for 1 this season from the free throw line. Now 1 for 2. And now 1 for 3 as she's missed her first 2 free throws. So Grace has met much better success shooting from beyond the arc as opposed to shooting from the free throw line as Homily gets an early break in the first quarter. And checking in for her, Stephanie Botkin. Botkin is from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, as senior. And the free throw is good for Grace. She makes 1 for 3 on that trip, but Grace has had a very good first quarter with 7 points. Fortman exits as well. So Caroline Ballard is checked in. She's from Manhattan, Kansas, a 5'10 senior. Wash U has a 2-point lead at 17-15 over Fontbonne. 3:42 left in the first quarter. Stafford lobs over in the left corner for Mallory Proffer. Proffer is a good scorer off the bench, averaging a little over 7 points a game, all as a reserve. 6 on the shot clock. Guffey tied up for the moment. Ball knocked away by Ballard out of bounds with 3 on the shot clock. Caroline denies a feed to the wing. Knocked out of bounds at the Wash U bench with 3 on the shot clock. Paige Black will do the honors on the inbounds. Lobs it over the head. Great defense for Wash U there. Ballard with a steal off the inbounds. Caroline finds Wren in transition. Left wing dump inside for Semple. Layup is good inside. Wash U now has opened up its biggest lead of the quarter at 19-15. 3:11 left in the opening stanza. Sarah Shroud in the game of the left elbow. Denied. And now a ball knocked away by Semple. Retrieved by Botkin. The feed down to Semple a little too far. And Sondag was trying to get her a transition basket, but Rachel's pass a little bit too long. Good idea, but just floated too far. So turnover for Wash U. We'll get the ball back to Fontbonne. Guffey, the feed to Shrout. Top of the arc will launch a three. It's on the way. Misses everything except the backboard, but Stafford's there to get a rebound. Riley Stafford did a nice job of slipping past Wash U defenders, Wash U rebounders, and somehow is able to get a couple of rebounds amidst the tall timber. For Fontbonne, checking in Chloe Lohr. Exiting for the moment will be Riley Guffey. Black trying to trigger the inbounds. And that's going to be a 5 count or a foul. Either way, Wash U has it. Looks like it might be a 5 count and a violation there for Fontbonne. Wash U inbounds with Semple. So Wash U has a 4-point lead, the biggest of the quarter. Wren to Sondag. Botkin trying to post up. Shroud inside. Meanwhile, Botkin, the feed. Shroud able to get around Botkin's hip and tie up Botkin for a jump ball. It stays with Wash U in the alternate possession rule. Katie Klausner will be in for the first time, and she will replace Rachel Sondag. So Randy Henderson getting a lot of players in this first quarter early. Wren trying to inbound, does so. Semple, corner three for Ballard, and it's a little bit short. Rebound is collected by Proffer. Chloe Lohr brings it across. She's from Bishop DuBourg High School, locally here in St. Louis. Black to Lohr. Chloe, a couple of dribbles, trying to get free from Isabel Wren. That's tough to do. Stafford between two players that had knocked away. The loose ball. It's retrieved by Lohr. Now a three is blocked by Wren on a three that was launched by Proffer. And Wash U's great defense forces a shot clock violation. And the Bears will have it, leading by 4 at 19-15. So 2 great defensive possessions in a row for the Bears. And they're looking to do that. They're looking to kind of tidy up the defense a little bit. Only giving up 61.9 points a game. But the Bears, especially in the first quarter, sometimes the Bears have been slow to get started. Ballard to Semple. Botkin attacks from the blocks and let that off the right side of the rim. I think she's trying to keep the ball away and then runs into Stafford, who's trying to bring the ball up, and Steph Botkin is assessed a foul. So Stephanie Botkin with her first foul. Semple outs, and Fortman's back in. So, again, Randy Henderson, who's had a great start here to her tenure at Wash U. Last year, the team was 19-8 in her first season. 23-11 is the overall record for Wash U's Randy Henderson in her second year. Revolving people in early and often in this first quarter. 1:25 left in the first quarter. Crossover to her right of Stafford. Black moved the pivot foot. She's called for the walk. That was easy for me to see from up here with my glasses, and easier for the official down below on the sideline to see it. So with 1:20 to play first quarter, Wash U trying to add to a 4-point lead. Fortman in the corner. Back to Isabel Wren. Left wing Klausner. Dumps inside for Botkin. Wheels to her right. Just left it a little bit too strong off the back iron. And the rebound is collected by Sarah Shrout. Stafford in transition. Had to put on the brakes as Wren got back in time. Stafford trying to take Wren off the dribble. Gets a screen to help out from Shrout. Now a switch as Shrout now gives it to Lohr. 10 on the shot clock. 45 seconds left in the quarter. And Caroline Ballard with a block shot for Wash U. Ballard takes it down the lane. And the Euro step gives Ballard a layup off the glass. Little Euro step gave Ballard just enough space to maneuver inside. She has her first 2 points, and Wash U has its biggest lead now of 6 points, 21-15. And another turnover for Fontbonne as Wash U now will have a chance with a shot clock off. 20 seconds to play first quarter. Actually a basket for Fontbonne there to make it 21-18. Ballard to Klausner. 2-3 zone now for Fontbonne defensively with 8 seconds to play in the quarter. Great feed to a wide open Botkin. Shot was blocked from behind, but Shrout got her with the body, and Sarah is going to be called for the foul. And that will allow Steph Botkin to go to the free throw line with 5.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So Botkin's first free throw up, and it trickles off. No good. She had some good backspin on it, but just a little bit too strong to begin with, and it pops off the front of the rim. Second free throw for Steph. It's on the way, and that one is short, but it crawls in. So one of 2 free throws there. 4 seconds to play in the first quarter. Stafford off balance at the buzzer. Left it just short off the side of the rim to end the first quarter. So an entertaining first quarter for both teams, but Wash U had a little bit of a burst toward the end to gain a 4-point lead. Wash U has a 3-point lead, actually 4 now, at 22-18 to end the first quarter. Let's take a look at the green dot video that we'll play here in just a second here. We'll get that loaded up, and we'll have the second quarter coming up in a few moments here on the Wash U Sports Network.
Violence happens here.
Too many of our friends, classmates, and teammates are survivors.
Something needs to be done about it.
What can we do?
We can put a stop
to sexual violence on campus,
To rape culture.
and degrading language.
We can step up.
to lead by example.
To intervene before something happens.
and make everyone feel safe. We can create a culture
Where consent is voluntary and mutual, not coerced.
Where sexual violence is not tolerated.
And everyone is respected.
We can make a change. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
What's your green dot?
Jay Murray's back with you. You're looking at Edwards Fay Court getting ready to start the second quarter. Wash U has a 4-point lead, and some of the statistics at the end of the quarter are as follows. First of all, Wash U shooting 53% from the floor, 8 of 15. Fontbonne 44%, 7 of 16. 3-point shooting, Fontbonne 3 for 9, 33%. Wash U 3 for 7, 43%. Wash U's 3 for 7 from the free throw line. Fontbonne 1 for 2. The turnover situation, Fontbonne 5, Wash U 2. As we start the second quarter, Fontbonne with the basketball. Venegas in trouble briefly. Got it to Crawford, so they'll reset with Guffey. Guffey got a screen from Raven, can't use it. Jillian Venegas now gets a screen from her sister. Nice backdoor feed, and the layup is good inside. Good ball movement there, good use of screens, and Stafford now has 7 points. She had 5 in the first quarter, and she has tacked on some points to start the second here. Homiley's back on the floor to Clark Kellender. A long corner three for Ballard is on the way. It's off the back iron. And Jillian Venegas with the rebound. So with that basket earlier to start the quarter for Stafford, Fontbonn's only behind by 2 at 22-20. As I mentioned in the Bears Den pregame show, both games could be close affairs as Raven Venegas able to fake left and go right around Homiley and score. Venegas now with 8 points. And we're tied at 22 now between Wash U and Fontbonne. Fortman open for a left wing three. It's on the way. That one's off the left side of the rim. Rebound inside Jillian Venegas and got better position as opposed to Caroline Ballard. Ballard's calling for the foul. So Caroline's first, and for Wash U, that's the first team foul of the quarter. So again, when you look at the tail of the tape, Wash U has advantages in 9 out of 12 statistical categories, offensively and defensively. But one thing Fontbonne has been able to do quite well is get a volume of three-point baskets. They've had to shoot a lot of shots to get the 8.9 trays per game. And with Wash U having problems, and that one's thrown away. Jillian Venegas with the turnover. Clark Kellender with the steal to Homiley. Homiley floats a pass and tipped and out of bounds. Ballard took her hands away from the ball at the last moment. So the ball stays with Wash U. So with Wash U having problems shooting threes as of late, I think the big key for Fontbonne, and the feed to Homiley. Now corner three available for Ballard. It's on the way. Too long. Raven Venegas with the rebound. Fontbonne looking to get a lot more threes made than Wash U, but nice block by Homiley and a foul with the body as Madeline had a good block up front, but Raven Venegas very strong, broad-shouldered, and as a result, she's kind of tough to handle, and she moves well from side to side, so she's able to get good position inside, and her first free throw on the way is good as Homiley has her first foul. That's Wash U's second foul of the quarter. Raven Venegas off to a good start, and she leads the team in scoring, 11.4 points a game, 5.9 rebounds. Came in shooting 57% from the floor, and that free throw rattles out. Homiley with the rebound. But it's a 1-point lead for Fontbonne now, 23-22. Fontbonne in a 2-3 zone defensively. Clark Kellender trying to find Homiley to dissolve it from within. Can't for the moment. Sondag a skip pass to Semple, had it, lost it, trying to recover it and threw it away. Guffey with the steal now for Fontbonne. 3-on-3 from midcourt. Guffey drives in, and it's going to be an offensive foul as Rachel Sondag draws the charge. So Guffey will have her first foul, and Rachel Sondag stood her ground. She saw that Guffey had every intention of going to the basket without dishing at the last moment. Rachel gets the ball back for her Wash U Bears as Clark Kellender to Semple. To Homiley on the right block, cross-court feed. Clark Kellender quickly to Sondag, right wing for Semple. Fortman out front now. Clark Kellender again trying to find a seam in that zone. The pass to Flex away from Semple. May have been touched by Proffer, taken by Raven Venegas. Now a feed in the corner for Paige Black. Black attacks the lane. Left it short off the side of the rim. Rebound. Batted on the ground toward Raven Venegas. And Raven actually delivers a pass to her sister Jillian. There's a foul. And that's going to go against Grace Fortman, her first. But that's Wash U's third team foul of the quarter. 2 more will put Fontbonne in the bonus. It'll be a double bonus at that. So Bears have to be a little bit careful because we're just starting the second quarter here. As Jillian Venegas taking advantage of Wash U trying to avoid a fourth foul in the quarter. Drove left lane and scores. Venegas now, Jillian has 5 points. And Fontbonne has regained the lead by 3, 25-22. The three for Sondag is off the mark. And a rebound collected by Paige Black. Black brings it across from left to right. Again, Wash U looks like they're starting to cool off again from three-point range, and so Fontbonne like to take advantage, especially shooting threes of their own. Ball knocked away, though, hacked away by Homiley without drawing contact. A steal for her. Now Clark Kellender pushes the ball to the free throw line. Down to Homiley. Down the lane, and the layup is good. Madeline Homiley now with 5 points, and now she is 10 points away, Madeline is, for 1,000 in her career. 6:26 remaining in the first half. 25-24. Fontbonne still leads by a point. Venegas got away with the push. Well, wait a minute. No, she got called for the travel. She'll take that as opposed to the foul, but Raven with that spin move looked to me to initiate some contact, but it was very slight, but she did walk with the basketball. So Fortman is out, and Isabel Wren is back in. Isabel is getting a lot of playing time as a freshman. Has a corner three open. It's on the way, and that one's short. Grazes the rim on a bounce at Stafford with the rebound. Riley's collecting rebounds here at a pretty good clip. But her pass there, Proffer wasn't looking for the ball. Hit Proffer in the side of the shoulder. Diving for the loose ball to try to get the steal was Homily. And Homily will be called for a foul, and that's going to be her first. So Fontbonne inbounds, but Washington now with 4 team fouls in the quarter. We still have 6 minutes remaining in the first half, so one more foul will give double bonus opportunities from the free throw line to Fontbonne. And meanwhile, Sondag may be called for a foul, and she is. Rachel picks up her first, and that is the 5th team foul. So now 2 shots from the free throw line. So now Fontbonne can really feast at the free throw line and really try to keep Wash U from regaining the lead here before halftime. Free throw is up and good. Riley Stafford now with 8 points. And the lead for Fontbonne is up to 2 now, 26-24. Second free throw is also good. Stafford with 9 points. And for Wash U, the deficit is 3. Oh, a nice bullet feed to Homily, and Madeline's fouled as Madeline was sandwiched between 2 players. Are they going to call a jump ball there? Oh, I don't know about that. I thought there was some contact there as Homily tried to fight through 2 defenders, but they're going to say a jump ball. Fortunately, the arrow pointing Wash U's direction. Well, the officials have a closer look than I do, so we'll just move on. And that pass thrown behind Sondag, an unforced error off the inbounds. And a lot of those possessions added together could be very costly in this game, which looks like it could be a close one from start to finish. 27-24, Fontbonne leads by 3 with 5:38 left in the first half. Behind the back dribble for Guffey. Actually, it's Proffer. That's actually is Guffey. Guffey trying to get around Clark Kellender, and Clark Kellender called for the block. Tough break for Becca, but she had Guffey in a good position just to play good positional defense and not try to do too much there. But instead, a foul called. That's Becca's second foul, but it will give 2 shots now to Guffey. Guffey's 1 for 2 so far from the free throw line here in the first half. The free throw here, nothing but net there for Riley, so she now has 5 points. And the Fontbonne lead now grows to 4, and that's Fontbonne's biggest lead now of the first half at 28-24. Second free throw also good. Very softly nestles in the net for Guffey. She now has 6 points, and the lead now is 29-24. Fontbonne's biggest lead now 5. A 3 for Botkin on the way. It's good, and she cuts immediately into that 5-point deficit. Stephanie loves to shoot threes from near the top of the arc, and she buries one there. She now has 4 points off the bench. Schrout wants a 3 on the other end, right wing, and it splashes home. Sarah Schrout with her first points of the evening from 3-point range, and Fontbonne has its 5-point lead back at 32-27. Wren left wing. One dribble, needs some help out front for Semple. Back to Wren, headed open 3, passed it up, trying to penetrate the front of that 2-3 zone. Sondag lobs inside for Homily, squares, shoots, and long off the back iron. And Jillian Venegas with the rebound. So Fontbonne leading by 5 now can extend this biggest lead that they've had in the first half with a basket here. Schrout thought about the 3, gets past Botkin on the drive, but Botkin comes back to block the shot from behind, but also drew contact. Fouling Schrout, and Schrout will go to the free throw line. That's Steph Botkin's second foul. And with 4:34 remaining in the first half, Wash U's on the wrong end of double bonus territory that Fontbonne is now in. Schrout to the free throw line. First one is good. So Fontbonne again can really make some hay here. With 4:34 left, they've been in double bonus situation now for about a minute and a half of the scoreboard clock. The second free throw is missed, and Homily with the rebound. Wren now to Sondag. Semple's open from the wing, passed up a 3, almost threw it over Wren's head, but Isabel's able to pull it down. Drives baseline, cut off by Stafford. Needs some help. Pass behind Semple, saves it for Botkin. The left wing 3 for Steph is up and good. Botkin with 7 points, her second tray, and that brings WashU within 3 at 33-30. Great save by Semple. The pass was behind her on the entry feed in the lane, but she's able to somehow save it and give it to Botkin, who finished the possession with a 3. WashU now trying to clamp down defensively. Jillian Venegas trying to work on Homily. Spin move not available. Guffey drives baseline. Around Botkin, reverse layup too strong, but under the basket. Stafford trying to get free, and now Homily freezes the ball, and the jump ball is called. It stays with Fontbonne as Caroline Ballard returns to action and Steph Botkin checks out. What a lift Botkin has been off the bench. 2 trays in the second quarter. 33-30. Fontbonne has a 3-point lead to inbound. Black inbounds to Stafford. 4 on the shot clock. 3. Needs to try to get a shot away. Does, and it misses everything. Shot clock violation for the second time in the half for WashU's defense. The defense has been able to tighten down the hatches here, so to speak, but they have to get some points on the other end. Semple, Sondag. Now Ballard in the corner. Homily attacks the basket, goes to her left hand and scores. Switched hands from right to left and scores. Homily now 8 points away from 1,000. She has 7 points tonight, and WashU is within a point now at 33-32. Fontbonne with a 1-point lead in the basketball. Jay Murray here with you on the WashU Sports Network. The Whiteout showdown underway, a doubleheader as Schrow has a corner 3. It's short this time. On the weak side, Black falling down, trying to tap it to Guffey. It's out of bounds. It'll be WashU basketball. Black had some contact from behind. Thought she might have been fouled. She might have a good case, but officials do not call the foul. It's going to be WashU basketball, and the Bears can regain the lead with the basket. Fontbonne still in the 2-3 zone. Long feed to Wren, right side. Wren, a Euro step, left it short. Rebound is collected by Raven Venegas. That was a nifty Euro step, and Wren almost twisted and turned and got a basket there, but left it short. So Raven now trying to hand off to Stafford. She's not available. Guffey is on left wing. Guffey trying to get past Sondag, and Maureen C.S. seeing that her offense has been pestered by a good WashU defense here. Timeout is called on the floor. We'll keep it right here with 2:40 to play in the first half. So again, some of the things that we were looking at as far as comparison of the stats are concerned. WashU has a big edge in scoring margin, shooting from both overall and three-point shooting. Rebound margin is very heavily in WashU's favor, plus 6.3 to Fontbonne's -1. Turnovers a game, WashU 15, Fontbonne 19. But Fontbonne has a few advantages it's going to try to utilize. Fontbonne has 14 steals per game, WashU a little over 8. Threes per game, Fontbonne 8.9, WashU 6.3. Three-point shooting defense, Fontbonne has been better than WashU so far, 30% to 35% entering tonight's game. And Fontbonne allows only 4.9 trays to be made. WashU allows 7.3. So the three-point shooting margin, Fontbonne a +4 in made threes. WashU just at +0.8. So Fontbonne was trying to utilize a three-point shooting volume advantage, as Venegas, though, able to get free inside. So we were thinking that Fontbonne would try to launch a lot of threes, but Venegas has been successful. Now Sondag with a corner 3. That one's long, and it falls away. Homily with the rebound, bumped from behind. Jillian Venegas maybe whistled for the foul here with 2:20 to play in the first half. Jillian Venegas now with 2 fouls. But Raven Venegas has done a good job inside with 11 points, so Fontbonne has not had to utilize the 3 as much. But Fontbonne still has 4 trays made in the first half. Homily from Sondag, now Ballard out front. Wren, Sondag. Ballard on a low pass to her, makes the catch, surveys the landscape, finds Semple in the lane. Shot blocked by Black, helping out from behind. So the shot is blocked. Fontbonne has a 3-point lead with the basketball. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Fontbonne wearing their purple uniforms, their road uniforms, even though for this road game they just have to walk across the street, across Wydown Boulevard. Stafford, a right wing 3 on the way long. Rebound. Ballard able to sky high for that. Leads a fast break. Brings it across the timeline. Fans out on a wing. Her pass deflected by Paige Black into the backcourt. Semple able to track it down without a problem. And WashU will reset with 18 on the shot clock. Semple splits a double team, and a late foul is going to be called. I thought that might be a situation where the Fontbonne defenders might have gotten away with some contact if Semple tried to split the front of that 2-3 zone. But instead, a late call. It's the right call as Guffey's called for the foul, her second. It'll be an inbound for WashU. Semple gets the inbounds left wing, spins back toward the basket. Soft jumper, good. Haley Semple making a good first start in her career at WashU with 6 first-half points. 1:20 to play in the first half. Fontbonne leads by a point, 35-34. Venegas between the circles. Hands over to Guffey. Wanted a three. Semple stopped that with her height advantage. So Black now has it right wing. To Guffey with 10 on the shot clock. 1:05 to play first half. Guffey drives left lane. Got around Semple. Missed the shot, but Semple may be called for a foul from behind. That'll be Haley's second. And it's a two-shot situation now for Guffey. After missing her first free throw in the first quarter, she's made 3 in a row. And the free throw rattles out, no good. Second free throw missed, so Washington can get a rebound. Semple gets the rebound, so a break there. 2 free throws missed. Now WashU with the basket can reclaim a lead. Wren to Sondag. Long skip pass to Ballard. Semple can't launch a three. Finds Homily inside. Double team there. Sondag for the lead. On the way, it's rims in and out. Homily trying to fight for the rebound. And also fighting for it was Semple. I think both players touched it, trying to get the offensive rebound. And Fontbonne, after it went out of bounds, will claim possession. 41.7 seconds were left in the first half. Fontbonne clings to a 1-point lead at 35-34. So little things like that, Washington needs to clean up a little bit. Had a chance to gain the lead there right before halftime and could not do so. Stafford, Raven Venegas bumping against Homily. Left the first shot short. Second shot is missed, but Homily may have picked up her second foul in the process. And that is the case. And again, Raven is very tough to handle inside. Good nimble footwork. Light on her feet. Pretty good dancer, I'll bet. She'll go to the free throw line here, trying to add to her 11-point total. Free throw on the way. Long, no good. Melissa Claver has entered the match, and Madeline Homily exits before picking up her third. 25.8 seconds left in the first half. Raven Venegas, one more free throw. She makes the second. 12 points for Raven in the first half. So WashU can claim a lead with a 3. 1-2-2 zone press offered by Fontbonne. It pays dividends as Wren throws a pass over Claver's head against the press, not out of bounds. So Fontbonne can use this to build a 2-possession lead now. 18 seconds left. The shot clock is off. Chloe Lohr in the game to handle the ball. Hands off now to Proffer with 8 seconds to play. Proffer left elbow, the feed on the way for Lohr. 3 is short. Rebound for Wren. 3 seconds to play with 2. Catching, shooting is Claver. It's on the way and it missed everything. Well, it may have grazed the net, but that was as close as it could get. And we've reached the end of the first half. So Fontbonne and WashU in a close tussle here, and Fontbonne has a 36-34 lead over WashU here at halftime. As WashU outscored Fontbonne 22-18 in the first quarter, but Fontbonne outscores WashU 18-12 in the second quarter. Now, usually it's been the first and fourth quarters that have been problems for WashU, especially the fourth. WashU's been outscored the fourth quarter throughout the games this season. So we'll see if that improves tonight. But for the time being, WashU in a battle with Fontbonne in the Y-Down Showdown. And Fontbonne a 36-34 lead over WashU here as we've reached halftime. Jay Murray here with you on the WashU Sports Network. Thanks for joining us. As we'll go over the stats here at halftime, we'll give you some basic stats, and then we'll have some more detailed ones to pass along a little bit in a few moments. But for right now, the overall shooting, WashU and Fontbonne are pretty even. WashU had an edge in the first quarter from the floor, but Fontbonne was able to kind of erase that advantage. And at halftime, WashU is shooting 41.9%, 13 of 31. Fontbonne shooting 42.9%, 12 of 28. Also from the free throw line, well, let's take a look at three-point shooting first. Fontbonne is 4 for 13, 31%. WashU 5 of 17 for 29%. So again, WashU, the three-point shooting woes continue. Last year, again, they shot a little over 40%. 41% as memory serves correctly. But tonight, entering tonight's game, WashU had been shooting only 32%. And WashU's below that standard as well tonight in the first half. Free throw shooting, Fontbonne, again, this was a key. Fontbonne got in a double bonus with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and that allowed Fontbonne to overall have 8 free throws made to WashU's 3 in the first half. Fontbonne was 8 for 14, 57%. WashU just 3 for 7 from the free throw line, 43%. Rebounds, Fontbonne has a big edge, 22-15. Now keep in mind, WashU came in with a rebound margin of plus 6.3, and Fontbonne had a rebound margin of -1. But Fontbonne has turned that on its ear to its benefit and to its advantage. As also Fontbonne has 7 offensive rebounds to WashU's 3. Turnovers, Fontbonne has 10 in the first half, WashU with only 6. So those are some of the team stats for both teams. And Fontbonne, I thought they might try to live and die a little bit more from three-point range, but with Raven Venegas with 12 first-half points inside, they've been able to do some business inside and not have to worry so much about leading on that three-point shot for success. Individual scoring for WashU, let's start with the Bears. 3 players with 7 points apiece. Grace Fortman in her first career start. Madeline Homily has 7 points as well, and Stephanie Bodkin with 7 points off the bench, including 2 trays. And Madeline Homily is now 8 points away from 1,000 at 992 for her career. And let's see, also scoring, Haley Semple has 6 points in her first career start. Rachel Sondag with 2 points. Isabel Wren off the bench with 3. Caroline Ballard with 2, and that's your scoring for WashU. Leading rebounder for the Bears, 6 rebounds for Madeline Homily as she's trying to work on a double-double again. And we'll see if she's able to achieve that in a little while. Leader in assists, Rachel Sondag has 3. And so that's your individual scoring and other stats for WashU. Also for Fontbonne, they were led by Raven Venegas' 12 points. In fact, Raven leads both teams in scoring so far after one half of play. Riley Stafford had 9 points, 6 points for Riley Guffey, 5 for Jillian Venegas, and 4 for Sarah Shroud. That's your scoring for Fontbonne. Leading rebounders, 6 apiece for Raven Venegas and Riley Stafford. Stafford has 4 offensive rebounds, and again, you look at Stafford, and she's 5'6", so she's not a member of the Tall Timber Club. But Stafford's able to get good position and get 4 offensive rebounds in the first half. And the leader in assists, Jillian Venegas with 3. And there's 2 steals for Riley Guffey. So those are your individual totals for Fontbonne. So again, those are some of the things to kind of digest a little bit, as right now at halftime, it's 36-34 in favor of Fontbonne. So we're about 10 minutes away from getting the second half started. What we'll do right now is we'll have a series of videos for you to watch. We'll take an extended break. We'll take a look at the Green Dot video and also the Why WashU video and also Let's Go WashU. So we'll have that for you as I take a break, and you take a break as well. Come back, and we'll set up the third quarter in a few moments here on the WashU Sports Network.
I knew at a young age that I wanted to do something big. I would tell my mom when I was a kid that I wanted to change the world, and I didn't really know how yet.
So I actually started coming to the basketball camps here when I was a little girl, but never really imagined WashU as a place for me to go to college.
And I'd kind of tailored a lot of my high school experience to, in my mind, thinking I'm going to get an athletic scholarship.
And so I transferred to WashU as a junior and got really involved in my academics, but then also started playing basketball as well, and just had a phenomenal experience.
When I came on campus, I was 18, senior in high school. I remember kind of the whole visit, but the thing that changed everything for me was being around these students and all of a sudden getting this shiver down my spine that everyone around me is about to change the world. And I'd never felt that before.
I was also encouraged to participate in a pipeline program for graduate school that directly conflicted with our practices the day before games during our conference. It didn't impact my ability to start, it didn't impact my ability to play, I wasn't punished, and instead I was encouraged, and it changed my life.
I want every student athlete to graduate a champion. that's in one hand having a degree that's going to open up doors. While also, in the other hand, I want student athletes to be able to compete for championships.
Throws this time again for Wilson. He makes the catch. He's in for the touchdown. And there it is.
There's time to do it and to become a whole person and not just an athlete at a university.
I think that's the storyline. I mean, that's the power of being able to compete for a national championship, but also being normal, that you might excel in whatever profession you aspire.
We want people that want to be champions in the classroom, in the laboratories. I've coached 60 doctors since I've been here. Watch their careers take off in law and architecture. That is so cool.
There's two signals that are being sent. One of them is to the kid that's sitting next to you in chemistry class, is that I'm an NCAA champion and I value chemistry just as much as you do. That's a big signal to be sending, especially in today. And the other signal that is being sent is it's all right to compete. It's all right to have a passion for something.
Scholar Champions is really a great pair of words that reflects the values of exceptional strength academically and the aspiration to do our very best in our athletic competitions.
You still get to play a big-time sport, but in what we'd like to consider the best academic arena and what we'd like to consider the best package deal.
They signed up for it and they take it head on. I mean, it's very impressive to be at a place with a 3.7 GPA that also has a 98% graduation rate, a 99% job placement rate, or grad school, and we win.
I think being an athlete at Wash U gives students kind of an unfair advantage for the rest of life. I feel like half the things I learned while I was at Wash U was because I was an athlete.
We need us clicking at our best.
Take what you've done today.
What it takes to do a good drill, let's put it into action.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go.
Gear up, let's go.
Hey, there's a game today. We should go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Bears! Go, Wash U!
Let's go. One more.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Forward, stay high. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, Wash U.
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 Let's go, Wash U. Let's go, Wash U.
Let's go, Wash U.
Let's go, Wash U. Let's go, Wash U.
Violence happens here.
Too many of our friends, classmates, and teammates are survivors.
Something needs to be done about it.
What can we do?
We can put a stop
to sexual violence on campus,
To rape culture.
And degrading language.
We can step up.
to lead by example.
To intervene before something happens.
and make everyone feel safe. We can create a culture
where consent is voluntary and mutual, not coerced.
Where sexual violence is not tolerated.
And everyone is respected.
We can make a change. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
What's your green dot?
Jay Murray's back with you here at Edwards Fay Court. We're inside the Wash U Fieldhouse as we're in the midst of the Wydown Showdown rivalry doubleheader. The women are starting first. They're at halftime, and Fontbonne has a 2-point lead, 36-34. Now keep in mind, Wash U leads the all-time series 38-4, and Wash U has won 16 consecutive games from Fontbonne. But right now, Fontbonne has the advantage by 2, and the lead is 36-34 at halftime. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. We've got a number of them for you, so we're just going to go ahead and roll through them here. As Wash U played some good defense, and they had some timely threes along the way. The first one launched there, up and good. As making their first career starts this evening, you have Haley Semple and then Grace Fortman there with a 3. So Wash U trying to push the pace there. Good inside feed, and the basket good. Madeline Homley, by the way, is getting close to 1,000. She's 8 points shy of that as we speak. And a 3-point shot there, good. I believe that was Steph Botkin that able to get a 3 there. And so Steph had 2 trays off the bench. That really helped Wash U's cause. Without her 2 trays and 7 points, Wash U might be in a bit more of a bind here. As we'll have another couple of highlights to show to you, and then we'll get back to business here. As Grace Fortman in her first career start, having a couple of trays here this evening. And we'll see what the Bears can do here. Meanwhile, some good defense here offered by the Bears, and at times have been good defense. And so we'll take a look at one more, Allie, and then we'll get back to getting the third quarter set up here. So the 3 was blocked there, and that led to a transition opportunity. And a good Euro step down the lane, and then the basket good. So Wash U at times has been, and I'd say all told, Wash U is not playing all that badly. But Fontbonne is just, they're playing pretty well also. Both teams are struggling from the floor at 41 and 42%. But the key in the game so far is that Wash U allowed Fontbonne to get in double bonus in the second quarter with 6 minutes to play. Fontbonne took advantage of it to the tune of 8 made free throws in the first half. Wash U only had 3. And that's the difference really in Fontbonne having a lead as opposed to being behind in the first half. So we'll see what happens here in the third quarter. Both teams are getting ready to start the third quarter. Thanks for joining us here on the Wash U Sports Network. 36-34, Fontbonne has a lead. And with regards to both teams, Fontbonne 3-4 overall, 1-1 in the SLIAC. Wash U is 4-3 overall. Last time Wash U was 4-3 was 10 years ago, back in the 2008-09 season. That ended up being a 26-5 year for Wash U and the NCAA runner-up. So, again, I wouldn't look too much into the 4-3 record and a slow start as anything ominous. But I think that's the 4-3 start prompted Randy Henderson to make a couple of changes in the starting lineup, putting in Haley Semple and Grace Fortman. Fortman's a sophomore, Semple a freshman. Both making their first career starts, and both had very good first half. Semple with 6 points, and Fortman had 7. We'll see what happens in quarter number 3. Wash U will have the ball first. And the Wydown Showdown rivalry, Wash U leads it all time 38-4. As driving on the lane, Sondag able to get a first couple of points there of the half. Sondag, 2 baskets, 4 points. Again, she's had some three-point shooting difficulties, so a good player adjusts like Sondag does, takes her game inside the arc, and that time she went down the lane and got a basket. And we're tied at 36 here early in the third quarter. Trying to untie to Stafford from three-point range. She knocks it down. Riley Stafford, her second tray of the evening. She now has 12 points. She ties her teammate Raven Venegas for leading scorers as Fortman has a corner 3. It splashes home. All of a sudden, a three-point shooting festival has erupted between the teams as Stafford and Fortman make back-to-back threes. And the game is tied at 39 now. And a quick timeout on the floor here as we are 51 seconds into the third quarter. But again, Wash U leads the all-time rivalry over Fontbonne 38-4. And Wash U's won the last 17 meetings. I shortchanged the Bears in one, so The last loss by Wash U to Fontbonne was back in the 2000-2001 season. Again, we mentioned that was the loss that snapped Wash U's record-breaking 81-game winning streak. Other 3 losses by Wash U to Fontbonne in the 82-83 season, a 1-point loss to start the season. That later was avenged, and then the 80-81 season, 68-58 loss to end Wash U's second season of women's basketball. So Fontbonne has had some close moments. They're looking to get a big win here to snap this 17-game losing streak to Wash U here tonight. The game is tied at 39. Out of the quick timeout, Stafford trying to drive past Sondag. Swooping layup is in. Nice job for Stafford. Able to get another basket. She has 14 points. Sophomore guard from Jackson, Missouri. Stafford came in averaging 10.6 points a game, second leading scorer. As Fontbonne has some balanced scoring. Semple got a feed in the lane. Back out to Sondag. Now Isabel Wren has checked in early to Semple. Sondag steps into a top-of-the-arc three. Yes! Oh, we'd love to see that from Rachel Sondag, especially when she's had a shooting slump from the outside. Her first tray of the evening gives Wash U a 42-41 lead, the first lead in the second half for the Bears. Jillian Venegas tied up at midcourt. Left wing now. Now in a corner for Paige Black. She'll launch her three, and it's too long. And the high rebound goes to Wren, trying to get around a double team in the backcourt. Able to flip it now into the front court for Semple. Baseline, trapped is Botkin, but a blocking foul as Wash U's trying to increase the tempo here, get up and down the floor a little quicker, thinking that it has an overall athletic advantage over Fontbonne. The foul is on Raven Venegas. That's her second. Wash U on the inbound. Semple keeps it away from Guffey. Wren to Botkin, fires a pass to Sondag. A top of the arc three is good again for Rachel Sondag. Sweet manna from heaven there. 2 straight trays for Rachel Sondag, and Wash U has a 4-point lead, 45-41. So now Sondag has erupted for 8 points in this third quarter, 10 overall for her tonight. It's a 4-point Wash U lead at 45-41. Raven Venegas crossing over. Oh, man, got it away with an extra step. No, she didn't. She's called for the walk. Official taking long looks at these calls before making them. They've made the right calls, but they're not rash in making them too quickly. Turnover for Fontbonne. Wash U's a chance to gain its biggest lead now. Here's a three on the way. It's good. Rachel Sondag again has found the mark. Timeout called. Maureen Cia says we did not want to see Rachel Sondag go off in the third quarter, but Rachel's done just that. 3 consecutive trays by Sondag, and Wash U now has pushed its lead to 7 at 48-41. 7:26 remaining. We'll keep it right here for the moment. Again, I want to remind you about shopwashubears.com for all your gear that you need. If you need some new t-shirt, new sweatshirts, a new hat, game day novelties, whatever you need. Maybe you need a new coffee mug. ShopWashuBears.com can handle that for you. And to help you with your Christmas shopping here, we're happy to do that for you. As both teams are in a timeout here, Wash U trailed at halftime 36-34. Well, Wash U's exploded from three-point range. Rachel Sondag in particular, she has 3 trays. Grace Forbin has the other in this third quarter. As Wash U has taken a 2-possession lead, its biggest lead now at 48-41, with 7:26 to play in the third quarter. So as Fontbonne returns to the floor, Raven and Jillian Venegas will be back on the floor along with Guffey, Stafford, and Black. Fontbonne 3-4 overall, won its season opener against Robert Morris Springfield, lost 3 in a row after that, but then rebounded by winning 2 of its last 3 games. Now Wash U in a full court press situation, and the steal is Venegas had a bad pass. Jillian threw it away. Simple cross lane to Fortman. Layup good. So Wash U now making Fontbonne pay for that mistake. As Wash U now leads by 9 at 50-41, and Semple and Guffey tumble to the floor. I believe Semple may be called, or is it Sondag that got whistled for the foul? And it's going to be Rachel Sondag's third. So Sondag And Caroline Ballard will come off the bench quickly to replace Sondag. Rachel, after just finding her shooting touch from the outside, now has picked up her third foul. So in order to keep her in the game, Rainey Henderson says, Rachel, I need to sit you down for a moment. That's unfortunate because Rachel has caught fire finally in this game here in game number 8 of Wash U's season. She's had a rough go from the three-point arc, but she has rediscovered her stroke. Fontbonne with the ball, now trailing by 9. Let's see how the Griffins handle this 3-possession deficit now as Venegas shuffles and off the glass and in. Didn't know if she may have gotten away with the shuffle of the pivot foot. But Raven now with 14 points. Foreman quickly inside to Botkin, and a shove from behind as Raven Venegas was trying to get anchored inside. Tried to use her arm as leverage and got called for the foul. For Raven, that's her third, so she may have to come out of the game. And she does, and Mallory Proffer will come back in, a 5'11 junior. Wren trying to inbound, count of 3.5 to Fortman. Botkin looked at a 3 and passed it up. Fortman to Wren, right wing, thought about the 3, but Proffer stopped that. Back into Botkin. Spins once, twice, threw it away, blocked, knocked away, and then picked up by Proffer. Great outlet down the lane for Stafford, and the layup is missed, though. Rebound for Proffer, but she threw it away to Semple. Semple with a steal, one-on-one against Black. Goes behind the back, swoops, and left that one short. Gets her own rebound. A second offensive rebound. Now finds Ballard. Fortman, Botkin with an open 3. Yes, sir! Stephanie Botkin now with her third tray of the evening, and Wash U now has a 10-point lead. 53-43. The high water mark's been pushed up another inch, up to 10 points. Trout to Guffey. Guffey has been rather quiet as of late from three-point range. To Black. Over to Shrout. To Guffey. Guffey with the right-hand dribble. Try to feed it on the baseline. It's touched last by Wash U. It stays with Fontbonne as Madeline Homley comes back in. I think one reason why Wash U has players like Semple in, along with Fortman, they have long wingspans, and as a result, kind of tough to shoot over and around from three-point range. Stafford got an inbounds and trying to beat the shot clock. Ballard avoids the foul and is able to let the shot clock expire. Caroline didn't know if she should head up the floor, but the official says, no, we'll go ahead and stop play and you can inbound. Third shot clock violation for Wash U's defense tonight. Wash U leads by 10. Homily in the corner for Semple. Crossover now to Ballard. Skip pass left wing for Wren. Isabel cut off by Stafford at the last moment. Fortman bobbles. But Ballard now has it to Homily. To a wide open Fortman for 3. Yes! Grace Fortman now in her first career start for Wash U has 15 points on 4 trays. And it's a 13-point lead now for Wash U as the Wash U Bears have caught fire from three-point range. And Fontbonne has not found a way to put out the fire yet. Stafford drives through a double team and left it off the back iron. And she's shaken up as well. Meanwhile, Ballard outlets to Isabel Wren. Wren in the corner for an open Semple for an open 3. Yes! Wash U feasting from beyond the arc and a timeout called as Semple gets into the act. She has 9 points in her first career start. It's a 3-point festival for Wash U in the third quarter. And a timeout call, Wash U has made a total of 7 trays in the third quarter. And as a result, the Bears lead by 16 now at 59-43. So a timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. 4:35 left in the third quarter. Well, this could be a landmark game for Wash U in this season. We mentioned that Wash U had a 4-3 start. First time since 2008-2009. Along the way, Wash U at times has had lackluster first quarter. Sometimes they've had a fourth quarter collapse that has resulted in losses along the way. But Washington, and the three-point shooting we mentioned, has been a struggle, 32% entering tonight. But in this third quarter alone, Wash U has 7 trays. And now a steal for Semple. 3-on-2 from midcourt. Clark Kellender has a ball deflects off the shin. Ballard off balance, needs help, and finds it with Fortman to save the possession. Clark Kellender back in, running the offense between the circles. Oh, the pass through the hands of Semple out of bounds as Haley tried to look and see where she was and what she could do with the ball before she had the ball squarely in her hands. So with this new lineup, again, Randy Henderson maybe trying to shake things up a little bit, trying to get some players that are longer on the floor. And they have some three-point capabilities. And denying net feed is Fortman away from Proffer out of bounds. It'll be Fontbonne to inbound. But not only defensively are they tall and long, and they're able to keep Fontbonne from getting where they want to be on the floor, but those players like Semple and Fortman can shoot threes as well. So in essence, WashU has put more players on the floor that has three-point potential. The potential has come to fruition here tonight in the third quarter. 4 on the shot clock, deflected out of bounds by Homily, so it's 1 on the shot clock. Fontbonne will have to lob it toward the basket and tip it to avoid another shot clock violation. Jillian Venegas returns, and exiting is Riley Stafford. Stafford with a nice night so far with 14 points. Jay Murray with you on the WashU Sports Network. And a quick denial. Oh, the clock didn't move very far, as it didn't move at all on the shot clock, as Homily denies it out of bounds. So still 1 second, maybe a little less than that on the shot clock as Paige Black inbounds. Venegas got it away from three-point range. It's off the backboard and did not touch the rim, so the officials say shot clock violation. For the fourth time tonight, the WashU defense forcing a shot clock violation. So the defense has been very good tonight for the Bears. The three-point shooting has been revised, so all told, that combination's worked out very well as the Bears have a 16-point lead, the biggest for the Bears tonight, after Fontbonne led by 2 at halftime. Ballard thought about the three, dumps it inside for Fortman, and crashing into a player, and the player that draws the foul may be Chloe Lohr. No, check that, it's going to be Shrout that gets called, I think, for the foul. And that is Shrout. That'll be her second. Fortman fouled in the act of shooting, and Grace will have a chance to add to her 15-point total. And the free throw is good. Well, Grace now with 16 points. Clearly season and career high for her in her first career start. Semple out. Haley also making her first career start, has 9 points. Botkin is in along with Homily. Fortman at the free throw line. Clark Kellender and Ballard on the floor for WashU. Second free throw for Fortman is good. 3 straight from the free throw line for Fortman. She has 17 points, and a travel as things are unraveling for Fontbonne in the third quarter. A Shrout, an unforced error, walking with the basketball in the backcourt. WashU gains a free possession, as WashU now has increased its lead to 61-43. And Clark Kellender inbounds at the last moment to Fortman. Grace between the circles, finds Clark Kellender. Becca fires a pass, two-hand overhand pass for Ballard. A three is good. Caroline Ballard has her first tray of the evening. She has 5 points now. The lead is ballooned to 21 points for WashU, 64-43. WashU has made 8 trays in the third quarter. I had to go back, double-check my math. I was trying to keep track in my head, and that is the case. 8 trays for WashU in the third quarter. And that has taken a 2-point deficit that it had against Fontbonne at halftime and just blew it up. Ballard exits. Sondag is back in. Rachel got things rolling from three-point range. She had 3 trays in the quarter before picking up her third foul early in this third quarter. And Clark Kellender called for the hold on the inbounds, and that's Becca's third. For WashU, only the second team foul of the quarter with 3:04 left. So I imagine Randy Henderson, one of the things that she talked about to her team at halftime was, hey, let's not give them double bonus freebies from the free throw line. Let's manage our foul situation a little better. Shrout, baseline, trapped by Homily. Back out to Jillian Venegas with 17 on the shot clock. Jillian with the left hand, hands off to Black, got a screen from Raven Venegas, flips it to Shrout. Raven with 8 on the shot clock, bumps, lost the ball. Jillian gets it back with 5 on the shot clock. Venegas, top of the arc three, is long. Homily, great box out there, gets the rebound and draws the 4th foul on Raven Venegas. That could be a very pivotal situation there for WashU to try to put this game out of reach. If Raven Venegas eventually fouls out, that's a big loss to Fontbonne, as Raven's the leading scorer with over 11 points a game. Tonight, so far, she has 14. She stays on the floor with 4 fouls. Botkin into Homily, double team. Open is Clark Kellner, pump fakes the 3, drives inside, goes to the right hand and scores. Becca Clark Kellner with her first 2 points. Could have launched a 3 there, but she thought, well, let's weave through some traffic and let's see if I can get to my destination, and she did. And she'll get a steal here for Wash U as well. And Clark Kellner is going to be called for a push, and she's trying to keep her balance because Sarah Shrout lost her balance. And in order to avoid toppling over Shrout, Clark's put out her hand to keep herself from tripping, and she's called for the foul. Not sure I agree with that, but that's the 4th foul for Clark Kellner. So she exits for the time being for Wash U. 2:06 left in the third quarter, which has been a nightmare for Fontbonne. As Fontbonne came into the third quarter with 36 points total, they've only scored 7 so far here in the third quarter. Wash U, on the other hand, has scored 32. So another turnover, Wash U will have it. So Wash U so far outscoring Fontbonne 32-7 in the third quarter. We have 1:58 left in this third. There's a steal for Mallory Proffer. Let's see if she can take advantage. To the blocks, left it off the bottom of the backboard, but Isabel Wren may be called for the foul, and that is the case. So with this 3-point eruption that Wash U's had, Wash U now is shooting 13 of 25 from 3-point range, 52%. Free throw is good for Proffer. That's her first point of the evening. From Wildwood, Missouri, she's a 5'11 junior, went to Eureka High School locally. And she's been valuable as a reserve, 7.1 points a game. Second free throw good. Proffer's free throws have pulled Fontbonne within 21, but in transition, Wash U's Homily going to work. Couldn't get a shot on a double team away. Botkin launches from 3, won't go. Homily with a player in her back gets the rebound, and the shot won't count as Homily was able to deposit that off the glass and in, but Madeline goes to the free throw line, as she is now 8 points away from 1,000 points in her career, trying to become the 14th Wash U player in women's basketball to reach 1,000. She'll have 2. Actually, it's Grace Forbin that gets called for, or will go to the free throw line. I thought it was Homily that got the foul, but instead Fortman was fouled. So Grace to the free throw line. She has 18 points now. And Grace has 11 points in this third quarter. A couple of trays to her credit. Second free throw also good for Grace, and she now has 19 points. So this could be quite a find for Randy Henderson to be able to just, it's one thing to shake things up a little bit by putting in youngsters. But when you have the youngsters produce as they have tonight, Fordman with 19 points and Semple with 9, and then you add to your bench depth in the process, well, I think Randy Henderson may have found a nice equation, kind of a quadratic equation, if you will, that works to her favor and for the Bears' favor as well. Shroud a long 3. That one's off the back iron. Rebound inside for Stafford, and Stafford has made a living of getting offensive rebounds and putbacks tonight. She has 16 points. Now to Homily in transition. Madeline lays it in, and Homily now with 9 points, and she's now 6 points away from 1,000. We're in the third quarter, 1:05 to play. Jillian Venegas gets around Homily, who tried to avoid a foul there. Stafford a kick out for Lohr. That one skips off the rim, but Shroud with the rebound. 54 seconds left, third quarter. Fontbonne had a 2-point lead at halftime, but now trailed by 23 as a result of Wash U's eruption from 3-point range. And Shroud misses inside, falling back. Homily threw it away, trying to find somebody open. Jillian Venegas tried to get a steal and did, but couldn't get the shot to fall. Stafford that time had a shot blocked, and Wren ends up with it for Wash U. 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Isabel Wren at the free throw line left open, and that shot is long. Rebound tapped, scooped up by Botkin. Shot clock now off with 21 seconds to play third quarter, and Wash U leads by 23, 70-47. And folks, Fontbonne led by 2 at halftime. That's how much of a dramatic swing this has been in the third quarter. 11 seconds left in the third. Wren lobbing, it's short. Venegas, Jillian had it knocked out of her hands. It will stay with Fontbonne with 4.3 seconds left in the third quarter. Fontbonne may be wishing, hey, we didn't want that second quarter to end. We should have just kept playing. So Lohr gets the inbound. 2 seconds, one. A long 35-footer blocked by Wren, and that will end the third quarter. That could have been a historical third quarter for Wash U all told, because Wash U outscores Fontbonne 36-11 in the third quarter. And as a result, Wash U leads 70-47 entering the fourth quarter. So what we'll do right now, let's go ahead and play the green dot video, Allie, and then we'll come back with the fourth quarter here on the Wash U Sports Network.
Sexual violence happens here.
Too many of our friends, classmates, and teammates are survivors.
Something needs to be done about it. What can we do?
We can put a stop
to sexual violence on campus,
To rape culture.
And degrading language.
We can step up.
to lead by example.
To intervene before something happens.
and make everyone feel safe.
We can create a culture
where consent is voluntary and mutual, not coerced.
Where sexual violence is not tolerated.
And everyone is respected.
We can make a change.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
What's your green dot?
Ready to start the fourth quarter, Jay Murray with you. And what a night it's been for Grace Fortman and Haley Semple. Those two players for Wash U have made their first career starts tonight. Grace Fortman through three quarters has 19 points, including 12 in the third quarter. Haley Semple has 9 points in her first career start. And so the youngsters giving a bit of energy, and it's a much-needed infusion of energy, as Wash U leads now by 23, 70-47, outscoring Fontbonne 36-11 in the third quarter. We're now in the fourth. And knocked the ball away to Semple, and retrieving it as Fortman. So with Wash U at 4-3 to start the season, Randy Henderson, the head coach, looking for some energy, and Fortman trying to provide some more, and she does. That one plops in for Fortman. She now has 22 points. Fortman with 5 trays tonight as well. She's going to tell her great-grandkids about this night. I can guarantee it. Well, she should if she doesn't. She's missing a great opportunity to brag to her grandkids and great-grandkids. Semple picks up her third foul. Now, granted, when Fortman tells that story to her great-grandkids, they'll roll their eyes and say, "Oh, Grandma, you're going to tell us the story again?" But they'll have smiles on their faces because they're going to love every moment of Grace retelling that story of her first career start, and so far 22 points in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Wash U leads by 26, and boy, what a change of fortunes Fontbonne had in that third quarter. Led by 2 at halftime and had thoughts of getting an upset of the Bears. Meanwhile, Stafford drives past Sondag and scores. Riley Stafford's had a nice night. She has 18 points. She leads Fontbonne in scoring. But Wash U had 8 threes in the third quarter, and Fortman adds 1 here to start the fourth. So it's a 3-point barrage of artillery that Fontbonne just not has been able to recover after being shot to rubble from 3-point range in the third quarter. And let's see, Wash U's going to call a timeout there before the ball got away from one of the Bears. We'll keep it right here. It's a 30-second timeout on the floor. So again, Wash U 4-3 overall tonight before the game began. Split games in the McWilliams Classic and the Midwest Classic. Top Milliken. But in that game, Wash U did not score until midway through the first quarter. Milliken had an 8-0 lead in the first quarter of that game. Eventually, Wash U came around to win by 9. Wash U had a pretty good game against Greenville, winning by 16 on the road. But then at Westminster, Wash U was tripped 70-68. And in that game, Westminster was 9 for 31 from 3-point range, but Wash U was 3 for 17, 18%. So at that point, I think there was a long thought process in Randy Henderson's mind saying something's got to change. And so tonight she inserts 2 underclassmen, sophomore Grace Fortman and also freshman Haley Semple. And I think that's had a positive ripple effect across the entire roster as a result, Rachel Sondag has refound her shooting stroke from 3-point range. Has the ball here. She has 13 points. Baseline jumper there to beat the shot clock is off the mark. So it's a first shot clock violation defensively earned by Fontbonne. But Rachel Sondag had 3 trays in the third quarter. And she really lit the fire that, again, Fontbonne had all kinds of problems putting out and never really did completely put it out. As Wash U turned a 2-point deficit in 2 a 23-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Outscoring Fontbonne 36-11. Shot missed by Stafford, retrieved by Guffey. A tie-up and a foul by Haley Semple. And that's going to be Haley's fourth. And again, Semple at 6 foot. She's a freshman. Grace Fortman, 6'1". So it's hard to shoot threes over them. It's hard to get around them off the dribble with their wingspan. They're able to move well with their feet side to side. So all that has, I think, really, WashU's got a lot of something going here tonight as a result of that lineup change. Stafford with a 3 from right wing. Well, talking about nights that she'll tell her grandkids about, Riley Stafford could have one here. She has 21 points. Isabel Wren driving to the hoop from the right block, actually left block, and the shot missed. Isabel goes to the free throw line. So right now, WashU's 14 of 27 from three-point range, 52%. Fontbonne only 5 of 20. So what we thought about was, as Wren's first free throw is off the mark, no good. So what we thought was going to be a problem for WashU trying to match the volume of made threes for Fontbonne. Well, that has been turned around 180 degrees as that free throw missed, but Botkin had the rebound but threw it away as Proffer ends up with the steal. Now Guffey with a corner 3. It's missed everything, and Sondag has the rebound against the taller Jillian Venegas. Sondag in the backcourt brings it across. So a lot of positives tonight against Fontbonne for WashU, and this one WashU needed the most. As Fortman, a great assist, possibly, but Botkin couldn't finish the shot. 2 players at the floor, Homily and Raven Venegas. But everybody's up and all right as Fontbonne's in the front court now. 7:17 left. WashU leads by 21, 73-52. Stafford had it tapped away, but retrieved by Jillian Venegas, who makes the jumper just beyond the top of the arc. So Jillian now has her first tray of the evening. She has 8 points overall. As Fontbonne tries to climb a long, tall mountain. Down by 18 now. One thing WashU can't afford to do is allow Fontbonne to get close again. As Homily with a great basket there on a great feed. And Homily now with 11 points, and she's now 4 points away from 1,000 in her career. At 9:96 as Stafford drives nicely but left it short. As Sondag tried to outlet, stolen by Proffer. Stafford from right wing, and one-on-one, it's up and no good, and a long rebound for Sondag. Sondag tried to get around Jillian Venegas, who tried to trap her on the baseline. 3-on-2 from midcourt. Now as Botkin fakes the pass, drives through a double team, and is fouled and goes to the free throw line. So the foul is going to be against Mallory Proffer, her third. Steph Botkin to the free throw line. And the free throw is good. And perhaps Steph had the omen of things to come in the second quarter. She had 2 trays off the bench. And from there, WashU was able to get a foothold from three-point range. And from there, the three-point barrage was underway in the third. Raven Venegas checks out. We'll have to look back and see how many points in a quarter is the record for WashU. Free throw is good for Botkin. She now has 12 points, but that was an historic turnaround in the third quarter. WashU outscoring Fontbonne 36-11 to take a 2-point deficit and put it into a 23-point lead. And the lead for WashU is now at 22. 6:10 to play in the fourth. Whiteout Showdown and Rivalry doubleheader here on the WashU Sports Network as this one's tapped out of bounds by Wren. The Fontbonne ladies will inbound, and we'll have the men's contest coming up at around 8 o'clock Central Time as the WashU men, 5-3 on the season, will take on Fontbonne in men's action. Guffey, left wing. Paige Black. Guffey had an early 3, but she's not had a 3 since then. Drives to the left block, high off the glass, and will it count? Or was it before the shot? 2 officials confer, and it looks like it might be. Well, we're not going to speculate yet. Let's just see what the officials say here. One official said the basket should count, and Duez Henderson, an assistant for Randy Henderson, and Randy and Duez are a married couple, and Duez shouted long and loud saying, no, it shouldn't count, but it will count it apparently, and it's a foul on Isabel Wren, her second. So Guffey's free throw to finish a three-point play is good. So Riley Guffey with 9 points. Sondag cut off at the baseline. The three is passed up down the lane. Swooping layup is left too strong, but Homley's there, and she's going to be fouled, and Madeline goes to the free throw line. Nicole Clark took the ball inside. She just checked in from Leedo Lakes, Minnesota, is where she's from, a 5'9" sophomore. And so the foul is against Sarah Shrout, her third, and that gives Madeline Homley a chance to get even closer to 1,000 points in her career. She's 4 points away. And 4 still, the free throw is missed. Madeline 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Let's see if she picks one up here to get within 3 of 1,000. She does. So Madeline Homley with 12 points and now 3 points away from 1,000 for her career. Washington a 1-2-2 zone press. It's broken by Fontbonne. Guffey at the free throw line. Stafford left open for a left wing three, and it rattles out. Rebound. Proffer, strong rebound, goes to the basket and scores. Mallory Proffer now with 4 points. And a long feed for Homley. Layup is good. Great assist for Clouster. And Homley now 1 point away from 1,000 points in her career. 80-60, and the shot missed by Guffey. Rebound, pulled down by Clark, tied up, but gets it to Clouster. Homley calls for the ball down the lane. Instead, they go to Wren. Wren drives baseline and scores. Isabel Wren able to swoop in from left wing and score. Wren now with 5 points. 4:51 left in the fourth quarter. WashU with a lead now of 82-60. Only thing left now to determine is whether Homley can get the 1 point that she needs to reach 1,000 for her career in this night. Meanwhile, the rebound off a Proffer miss is taken by Shrout, so Proffer may try to measure up another three. Instead, skip pass over to Black. Stafford drives baseline. Big night for her, and she adds to it. Nice move by Stafford there as Riley now has 23 points. Clouster tried to feed Homley here, perhaps. Let's see. Homley now calling for the ball. This could be it. Number 1,000 plus in her career, and she'll go to the free throw line to earn point number 1,000. She's fouled, sandwiched on a double team. And with that, the foul is going to be against Proffer, her fourth, but this is it. Madeline Homley 1 point away from 1,000. She'll have 2 shots on this trip. If she makes her first one here, it's point number 1,000 in her career for WashU. Free throw on the way, and it's off the mark, no good. Maybe I jinxed her, I don't know. I think Madeline's a little nervous saying, let's just get this 1,000 point over with here so I can just get back to playing basketball. Big moment for Madeline, here it is. Can she reach 1,000? No, left it short, and a rebound for Proffer. So Proffer has it for Fontbonne in the backcourt. 4:04 left in the fourth quarter. WashU leading by 20. Wasn't that way through the first half, though. It was a seesaw battle, and Fontbonne had a 2-point lead at halftime. As Paige Black weaves in. Oh, left it too strong. Good drive in the lane, but too strong off the rim. Now it's Wren, an outlet to her. The layup is good down the lane. Isabel Wren now with 7 points. She's a freshman, so the underclassmen of WashU now stepping up to the fore when WashU needs someone to step up after a 4-3 start. And the underclassmen have helped out a lot here tonight. Proffer double team late after Homley helped out. Shrout with a three, and it's good. Sarah Shrout with her second tray. She now has 7 points. 3:15 left. Here comes Clouster down the lane. A kick out. A three on the way up and long. No good for Clark, and a rebound pulled down by Stafford. Stafford brings it across. WashU leading by 19, 84-65. Fontbonne has a little bit of time left, but they got to score in bunches here. And meanwhile, Guffey tried to tightrope the baseline and couldn't. She's out of bounds. It goes to WashU. Well, let's see. Botkin will enter the match, and Sondag is out for the moment. Isabel Wren is also out, so entering the game for the first time, Grace Waterberg. Klausner over to Clark. Homley calls for the ball on the left block. Can't get it to her. Klausner, head and shoulder fake, elevates, shot on the way, good. Katie Klausner with her first 2 points. And WashU with a 21-point lead at 86-65 with 2:34 left in the fourth quarter. Guffey goes behind the back. As WashU's trying to run this string against Fontbonne to 18 consecutive wins with a win tonight. Wasn't easy. WashU down by 2 at halftime. But great three-point shooting turned it around and then some. Stafford spins to her left and can't convert there. Clark with the rebound. Let's see if Homley can get it. She gets down, a feed down the lane. It was knocked away by Paige Black. Loose ball on the baseline. Stays with WashU. So Claver comes in for Madeline Homley, and looks like Madeline, I don't know if she's going to be out for the rest of the game. She is 1 point shy of 1,000 for her career. Let's see if she comes back in here in a few moments. Meanwhile, the inbound's tapped, but it's controlled by Waterberg. Her three for her on the way. It's up and good. Actually a two. A foot on the line for Grace, but Grace Waterberg, a sophomore, gets her first 2 points. She's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. As Guffey attacks the left block, a foul on the floor. Waterberg, and let's see. She had 6 points. She played one game. She had 6 points in that contest, so it's her second game that she's played in. As Guffey gets the inbounds for Fontbonne. 1:50 left. Guffey, left wing, backs it out. Now launches a three, and it's off the rim. Rebound collected by Clark. Nicole Clark. Oh, all alone as Botkin. Layup is good. Great assist for Katie Clouster as Botkin was able to camp under the basket all by herself. Botkin with 14 points off the bench. 1:30 left in the fourth. And driving is Lohr, and she is going to be fouled to stop the clock with 1:27 left. So WashU had a 22-18 lead at the end of the first quarter. Fontbonne outscored WashU 18-12 in the second to take a 36-34 halftime lead. And WashU fans across the country and around the world were thinking, uh-oh, as the shot is missed by Lohr. They were thinking, oh, could this 17-game winning streak come to an end against Fontbonne? Well, the Bears came out in the third quarter and answered with an emphatic no. 8 trays in the third quarter for WashU as the free throw is good on the second attempt for Lohr, and Chloe gets her first point of the evening. 8 3-pointers for WashU, and that gave WashU a 36-11 edge in the third quarter as Klausner, a driving layup too strong. And a rebound tapped to Clark. Nicole to Waterberg. Botkin. And Claver goes to her right hand and scores. Melissa Claver, her first 2 points. She's from Wheeling, Illinois, a sophomore. Claver now with her 5th and 6th points of the season and as a Bear. Guffey left that one too strong. Off the backboard, Botkin to Klausner, and now back to Claver. Pump fakes, layup is good once again for Claver. So youth is being served in heaping bunches here for WashU. Klausner with a steal. Klausner, one of the seniors on the squad, but the youth gave WashU a great infusion of energy and production tonight. There's no question about it. That one stolen away by Black with 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. WashU 94-66 lead as Stafford's off the mark. So 21 seconds left. WashU 94, Fontbonne 66. Klausner will say, well, this has been a job well done, especially in the second half. And what could be a historic third quarter as WashU scored 36 points in the third to put this game away. 6 seconds to play with 5, and that'll be it. And Madeline Homley will have one more game to play before she can get to 1,000 points in her career. She's at 999. But WashU gets a very impressive win to go to 5-3. A 94-66 victory for WashU tonight. So WashU improves to 5-3 overall, and Fontbonne drops to 3-5. But again, WashU fans were biting their fingernails quite a bit at halftime, wondering if the 17-game winning streak that WashU had over Fontbonne in the Y-Down Showdown, would that evaporate? Well, again, the youth of WashU really served the Bears well, because you take a look at the 2 players making their first career start tonight. Grace Fortman, a sophomore, had 22 points to lead the way for WashU. She had 5 trays. Haley Semple had 1 tray and 9 points in her first career start. And then you take a look at Isabel Wren, a freshman. She had 7 points tonight. And some of the other players, Melissa Claver, had 4 points late. And so an infusion of scoring from 3 players tonight, most notably Grace Fortman with 22 points, as the youth of Wash U able to, again, provide some much-needed energy for this Bear squad that had kind of lagged to a 4-3 start. But a big win. This could be something. This could be a nice springboard for a lot of good things to come, especially if the youth of Wash U keep producing like they did tonight, or close to it. Doesn't have to be a 22-point night for Fortman to have her add to the success of Wash U. But what a great evening for Grace. A great evening for Wash U as well, as the youth helping out the elder statesmen tonight. Rachel Sondag, one of the seniors, had 13 points. She had 11 of those in the third quarter on 3 trays. Madeline Homily had a double-figure night with 14 points in one of the seniors. Steph Botkin, a senior, 14 points for her off the bench. So it's not like the seniors were hiding and didn't add to anything, but it just seemed like Wash U needed something. There's a missing ingredient or two in the in the stew that Wash U was trying to make, and Randy Henderson, the chef in the kitchen, found the right ingredients that were missing, at least for tonight, to make it a very flavorful victory for Wash U tonight, 94-66 over Fontbonne this evening, as Wash U ends the night by scoring 24 points in the fourth quarter compared to Fontbonne's 19. So Wash U, all told, outscoring Fontbonne in the second half by a score of 60-30. And Wash U wins by 28, 94-66. As a result, we'll have some stats to look at in just a moment. We'll do that very quickly so we can get a file to the Fontbonne and Wash U women's coaches before we get to the men. The men are already warming up, as Wash U's to your left, and the Fontbonne men warming up to the right. We thank Ali Persky for being our producer and running to get the stats for us. Let's take a look at the stats very quickly. As far as team stats are concerned, Wash U ends up shooting 57% from the floor. Wash U shot 73% in the second half, combining the third and fourth quarters. Again, of the stats we have, it's a half-by-half breakdown. So in the third and fourth quarters, in the second half, Wash U combines to shoot 73% after shooting 42% in the first half. So all told, Wash U 57% from the floor, Fontbonne 37%. As Fontbonne was only 33% from the floor in the second half. Fontbonne only 4 of 15 from three-point range in the second half, as Wash U had a 9 for 11 performance from three-point range, 82% from beyond the arc for Wash U in the second half. So Wash U was 14 of 28 all told from beyond the arc, 50% from three-point range. Fontbonne was 8 for 28, 29%. Free throw shooting, Fontbonne 63%, 12 of 19. Wash U 10 of 19 for 53%. That's your team stats of note as far as shooting percentages. Wash U at game's end had a 38-31 edge in rebounds. Fontbonne 13 of 10 advantage in offensive rebounds. Let's see, assists, Wash U 26 assists compared to Fontbonne's 13. Fontbonne had 20 turnovers, Wash U 15. And as far as steals are concerned, 10 steals apiece for Wash U and Fontbonne. Individually, let's go to that very quickly. Wash U, Grace Fortman in her first career start, 22 points, had 5 trays with 6 for 9 overall, 5 for 8 from three-point range. Madeline Homily had 14 points, 6 of 8 for the floor. She had 11 rebounds, another double-double for Madeline Homily, who shared the UA Player of the Week honors this week. 13 points for Rachel Sondag. She had 3 trays, all in the third quarter. Stephanie Botkin, 14 points off the bench. Then you had 9 points for Haley Semple in her first career start. 2 points for Becca Clark-Callender, 2 for Katie Klausner, 7 for Isabel Wren, 5 for Caroline Ballard, 2 for Grace Waterberg, and 4 for Melissa Claver. And the leading rebounder, Madeline Homily, with 11. 6 assists for Haley Semple to go along with her 9 points. 5 steals for Haley as well along the way. Great stat line for Haley in her first career start. For Fontbonne, Riley Stafford, a great night. 23 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Riley. 14 points for Raven Venegas, 8 for Jillian Venegas, 9 points for Riley Guffey, 4 for Mallory Proffer, 1 for Chloe Lohr, and 7 for Sarah Shrout. Leading rebounder against Stafford with 10 for Fontbonne. 3 assists apiece for the Venegas sisters, and 4 steals for Mallory Proffer. So that's a look at the individual scoring and stats. Again, one thing determined this game, and that was three-point shooting in the third quarter. Wash U had 8 trays in the third quarter to turn a 2-point halftime deficit into a 23-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Wash U coasted from there 94-66. So that will end our women's broadcast of the Y-Down Showdown. The men are coming up in a few moments, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with the men's contest. We'll set it up for you in about 10 minutes here on the Wash U Sports Network.